right now. I may have forgot. Uh, the plan today is supposed to be uh, is well past 2 weeks really. I wasn't really able to get anything, so yeah. Yeah, I'm just streams lagging really badly. Oh god, yeah, I can see that. Let's see. It's been 2 weeks and oh good god. Later, Zena. Task manager tell me more. Oh, I don't like how it's taking it more than 10 seconds to pull up. Did OBS just disconnect? Yeah, it did. Okay, well, that's great. Oh, and it reconnected already. Okay. Let's see. It's nothing major. But I closed this already. Should be fine. Now, anyways. Never mind, FPS just got halved. Oh, no, it eased back up there. That's really strange. Okay. Well, we'll see if it's better. Audio's delayed now. Oh god. Hmm. Why would that be happening? I thought I fixed it before, but here, I'll get the turn going while I mess around with OBS. Hmm. If I do this, that might work. Just refreshing the audio capture.
뭔가 부족하지 않았다는 거네. 그치? 좋았어.
Alright, there you go. Let's see. I did need 21, right? In total. What's this? Yeah, I do need 21. Um, yeah, that's not happening today. Um, but I mean, I should be able to get a good chunk of it done. What team did I do last? Was it Blade? Yeah, it was Blade. 110? Yeah, that's enough cost. I could work with this. I'm an F2P player and I have more lunacy than you. Yeah, I hold off on pulling everywhere. I literally just don't pull unless it's Walpurgis. So that's how I end up with that large of a stockpile. Even if something nice that I would want comes out, I don't pull because I'm in the mindset of I'll just grind boxes, and I mean it usually works out. I mean I do need horseshoe. Pick up lithograph while I can. It was supposed to be four-leaf clover. How did I forget how to fuse Lucky Pouch? Oh well, I'll fuse it later. Uh, Lucky Clover. I mean, I still need the portrait anyways. Portrait of a certain day. Oh wait, that is my poise team. Why did I think it wasn't selected properly? There. When the 1 week delay came for starting seasonal IDs, you thought the period was too small to get people to pull, you were wrong. Yeah, some people are quite impatient. I can understand it if you're like a content creator and you always want to stay up to date with the IDs instead of waiting. But for other people, I don't understand that. Which difficulty should you farm in MD? I mean, I guess if you don't care about other achievements and whatnot, because I know there's some that require you to do hard MDs or go into MD Infinity. If it's just for completing them as quickly as possible, I'd recommend probably starting off with a few hard floors just to get some extra gifts. And then you can just switch to and you can just switch to normal afterwards by like floor 4. And you just have an easier time demolishing for 4 and 5, so those two floors will go by quicker. But even then, just doing the entire thing as MD hard is completely fine. It's pretty much a breeze uh, when you know what kind of gifts you need and the fusing system.
확실하게 갈라지는 감각이었네.
It's kind of amplified by the fact that the game takes so long for new content to come out, and other than MD, there isn't anything to do. Yeah, I mean, I guess so, from most people's perspective. Although, for other people, there's infinite content. It just requires you to be creative and willing to do it. Like challenge runs using IDs you never thought you'd use. People just... A lot of people don't take to that, though, which is the only problem. Like, for most people, you finish Runa, it's a done game after, like, I don't know, you do the achievements or something. Like, you know, kill an index with the rat page. I think that was one of them. Um, but, I mean, for other people, well, not even including mods, just challenge runs you can do that people have done. Like, you know, only using one of the floors, or they just main the floor until the end of the game. Um, but people have always made their own content once they finish games. Or once they get to a point in the game where there's nothing. Also, I just noticed the stream was lagging during Ryoshi's skill 1 there. I have it open on my phone. Um, it seems like I recovered pretty quickly from that. Yeah. But I mean, Evan, for MD, you can just try and do it without eco gifts, and there's other ways you can play MD too. People just don't do it. Like, you have, there's some people that have done, like, you know, LCB, KK teams, you know, Blade Lineage. There's middle teams now, because, you know, the gifts kind of drag you in that direction. There's 7 teams using, it's one of the starting slash gifts. There's also the She teams, which also use one of the starting slash gifts. There's Sank teams via, I think it's one of the Pierce gifts. But there's teams like that you can do, and there's also just like, you know, solo content, you have duo content, trio content. There's just stuff you can do. Why am I? But you know, there's content and stuff you can do. People just don't do it. You can even just try and make MD as hard as possible by giving the enemy as much damage as possible, and like as much offense level and clash power, coin power, whatever. Hmm. Isn't Dorfin? I mean, I don't really need most of this. I'm just waiting till I get Nebulizer. I mean, I could try and fuse it. If I get lucky here. Oh, I got it. Nice. That trivializes a lot here. That's a fair argument, but once again, playing ND over and over again can get annoying. Yeah, and that's probably the reason why most people don't just do that. Um,
헌팅 커틀러리 준비 끝.
Trying new things is hard because of Fred and XP limitations, which kind of sucks. But you agree you can still have fun. I'll be honest, I don't see Fred as a limitation. XP maybe, but Fred is not a limitation. At least with my account. Um, I may have over 9,000 Fred, and everything is uptype free or Fred spin free minimum. Personally, the limiting factor would be shards, mainly because, well, I'm using shards to extract things and not uptype 4 things. By the way, where's Honglu's boyfriend? I may not have him. I did not get him from the Walpurgis, and I just decided, yeah, I'll just wait until the next one. It's not... I wasn't too big on this set of Walpurgis IDs. My main goal from that Walpurgis was actually their Freischütz ego.
영원한 잠으로 인도하라.
for my burn team. I ended up rolling Hong Lu and ended up getting the Ego later down the line. But I never ended up rolling Heathcliff, so I'm just gonna wait for the next Walpurgis Noct. If he comes by, I'll get him then. And if I don't by the end of my pulls or whenever I feel like I'm done with that, I'll just shard it. Also, I should feed Ishmael Sanity. I haven't been doing that. That didn't kill. Wow. Oh, she's the fastest? How? Oh, you do roll a 4 to 7 for speed. Why did I think she was slower than that? Oh, that's a negative cost. That's gonna stagger her, isn't it? Put her in slot 1 or else her sanity's gonna suck. Do I have someone to... something that heals SP? That's just gene healing, yeah. I don't think I do. And it does mean that you win speed ties, though. The counters might kill. Yeah. Okay, that's rather unfortunate. Oh, that one's staggered. Yeah, he's dying to this. That's 2 coins. Yeah. Alright, there's the one for the Shi IDs. Yeah, I'll just re-roll this. Wait, this is floor 2. Why is this up for offer? I mean, I guess I'll just take it then. It's guaranteed. Let's see. She's over there. That should win the clash, right? Right? Thank you. Can this stagger too? Hell yeah. Just for the sanity alone, I think you're better off running BL Faust or Pequod Yisong. Yeah, maybe. That's gonna eat for my counts, isn't it? Yeah. Just do that for now. Probably the main concern right now is just Ishmael's sanity. Yeah, that'll help. If need be at the shop, I can just swap out a Yi song for one of the ones that recover SP on loss. I think it's 10 that he recovers when you lose SP. That'll give her enough SP to win clashes, and then she'll just gain it all back from there.
영원한 참으로 인도하여. 영원한 참으로 인도하여.
Yo, Faust doesn't have a Poise Go? Doesn't... yeah, that's the Nebulizer. Yeah, Foracalgia. Or Foracalgia. That's... Foracalgia is the condition where your lungs are basically destroyed, right? But you can technically still breathe, it just hurts like hell. I also don't have that ego. I don't have any of those.
꿈을 꾸러가다.
I should probably shard them, because, I mean, Foraclagia for poise teams is really good, especially with the healing. Faust in particular. Just, well, I mean, uh, it's chip healing, and eventually it just turns into, like, multiple. Yeah, it can somewhat challenge Fluid Sac. For poise teams, it's just straight up better. But, just because Fluid Sac is better when you're on lower HP, but for Arcalgia is just better for dealing with chip damage over time since it's automatic every turn with the passive, if I remember correctly. And with the unbreakable coins and like, you know, random rupture, random bleed, um, it's good for chip healing and you can leave like whenever someone takes a big hit. Hopefully it's not your entire team. If it's your entire team, something's gone wrong. But if someone takes a big hit, just like use a pursuance or something. Or like Lantern, any of a better single target, or like, you know, the meteor heals in the game. Those are just the ones I remember off the top of my head.
이보게 본인이 해냈네.
해냈어. 해결.
Let's see. Yeah. Come on. I mean, I'll take a Lytra, yeah, sure. So let's see. Can try and get the portrait. Angel's Cut. I mean, that'll help. Wait. Wasn't there a fusion that had both the barrels? Is it this? Yeah, it was. Okay. Glad to see my memory working. Was there another fusion after this? Using this? I don't remember. I also don't know what this does. I just don't bother reading this. Do I have... No, I don't. Wrong. This one. Yeah, that works. I think the other candidate would be Ringy Song. I'll take base. I don't think... I mean, there's middle Merceau, but I'm using Merceau on the team. I don't think anyone else heals SP. Yeah, Fluid Sac is just really strong. And that passive as well with, it's 2 protection, right? To the lowest HP? Center? They they just went a bit overboard with fluid sack. I could well, it was season one ego, so I mean it checks out with what they're working with there. But I still can't believe that they gave out healing that easily. And considering the similarities this has to Ruina with the Clash style, considering how valued healing was in that in Runa, how rare it was. Like most of the best sources was like Mind Hauler and Health Hauler. Well, Mind Hauler being the stagger one, but yeah.
전투응대에 나선다.
Thoughts on Middle Sinclair? Um, the counter's nice in the fact that they have a like a stopgap at 4 resonance to trigger skill 2. Um, because I know some people find Middle Dawn a bit hard to work with because it's either, 6 or nothing, right? To trigger the skill for you with Sinclair, you do have a bit of middle ground for the skill 2. Another nice thing is the shield that he gets for using the counter. That's good. I appreciate him having the same stagger bar as Quad Heathcliff. Half health is a really good benchmark for units like those. Looking at the middle so far, they're heavy hitters of NV res. Pretty much. The conditionals don't do too much on him. Because if you're... There's not too many units in the game that help out immensely with a bleed stack if you're using like both. Like let's say you're doing a team 6, 2 of your units are dedicated to Middle Dawn and Middle Sinclair. They have no count in their kits. So your upper 4 units need to have NV skills and inflict a good chunk of count. But honestly, I don't know if they need the conditionals just due to the sheer amount of offense level they end up gaining from an absolute resonance chain, plus the effects that they get on their own skills of like +6 offense level for just hitting that for hitting the 6 MB res, the extra 6 on top. I think they just clash insanely high because of that. I don't know if they... The thing is, I don't have either of the 2 middle. I just have middle Merceau, and I'll be honest, I don't think anyone uses him. But yeah, I can't say from like testing it myself, but they just seem like they have so much offense level that it just does not matter if they get the conditionals or not. Not to mention if all that offense level translating to more damage, thanks to offense level difference, giving you both Clash Power and an effective Fragile that sort of depreciates with how much you have. But still, it's damage, right? I wish his skill 1 was Pride instead of Gluttony. If they made it Pride, it would have been perfect. Statuses are kind of important, that other IDs aren't viable and the later floors are hard ND. Eh, not necessarily. Like, if you're running a physical team based off of, like, Blunt or something, I'll take this. So I get the extra. Take Carmilla. Like, my Blunt team has no synergy, pretty much, besides maybe a bit of syncing, because I have 2 syncing IDs on that team. Although one of them is Diechi Rodia, and she cannot hold a stack for the life of her. And the other was Wild Hunt Heath, solely for skill free. And the fact that you can activate his free dash 1 every other turn, guaranteed, pretty much, so. But even then, like, you just fused a memory, and then I gave it to Ghost Regret Faust, and I don't remember who I put in the second slot. But you just outroll pretty much everything, and your damage is out the wazoo. He's a solid ID, but he does not go into broken stats. That will be most likely whoever gets Ricardo ID.
엔진
Yeah,
시동.
degraded gloom for diffusing gifts. Yeah, it did. I'm pretty sure it did, anyways. Yeah, he's just solid. Um, I really like the survivability in his kit because that's definitely needed for anyone that uses like a normal counter, not a power counter, to help you sustain or make it realistic that you're able to sustain taking that damage. Yeah, I mean, later levels of ID, you don't need statuses. Using status teams is definitely easier, especially with fusion gifts and whatnot. But I mean, MD just solves so many. I don't want to say problems, but that's the best word I could come up with off the top of my head. Um, for like IDs or teams or ideas that people have from just the existence of ego gifts. There's something for everything, basically. It's not hard to
담겨 있지.
go all the way.
저건 이렇게 진리가졌다. 우리의 확고한 승리가 눈앞에 있다.
Like, I remember I had a charge team going into Hohenheim one time, and my team dealt too much damage, and his reflect damage also just kind of killed me. So I had a bunch of charge gifts, but I also happened to have WE Song on the team. So I had no rupture gifts as well, so I just decided to solo it with Isong instead. And that ended up being the easiest way to beat that fight, because rupture is cool and highly, highly stackable,
지금을 반복한다.
even without the Dimension Shredder passive. I don't think I used it in that fight, but yeah, there's solutions to basically everything in this game. Some things might be a little bit more tedious, you know, if you need to divert from the path already, but yeah. Sank's also a good ID. Still prefer to Sank. I assume Sank Sinclair. Sanclair. Yeah. Sank just clashes very high. It normalized the speed conditional being be faster than the opponent by or enemy by a certain amount instead of BX speed. Because X speed conditionals are just why does she Dawn have her X speed conditional at 10? Like, why?
총원 불격.
But yeah. The just be faster than the enemy is quite nice. Although I would like to see one of those IDs where they. Oh, he lost the clash. That.
이 작전
Huh?
필살의 집념이.
Maybe he needs to wait for an enemy to be freed up for him to trigger. I would like to see one of those IDs that has those speed conditionals but uses bind instead. There we go.
확실하게 갈라지는 감각이었네.
Yeah, for Sanclair. Find it funny that Wild Hunt and Manager Dawn have stats in their kit, but they're so strong it does not matter. Or statuses, yeah. Heathcliff's Wild Hunt is just here's tons of damage and a power counter and offense level gain to make it so you know you actually win using the power counter. His damage ramps up pretty quickly. It's 2 coffin every turn guaranteed. What's his sanity gets above? He needs 25 sanity to use the first power counter to transform, right? So like even against bosses, his ramp up's pretty quick. And yeah, they're just strong IDs in general. Manager Dawn is definitely feels a bit more tied to bleed since um,
엔진 시동.
she wants the Blood Feast again. But I mean, like even then, she just kind of rolls high. Power counter as well. You don't necessarily like she heals back any damage she takes from self bleed, usually within the same attack. Let's see. And then, of course, once you hit, I think it's 10, right? The amount you need for a skill 2 to come online. Once you hit 10, you're basically fine for, you just get guaranteed AoEs. I mean, of course, there's the skill 3, which just rolls really high regardless. Uh, Even when it's not meeting any conditional rolls higher than average. I'm pretty sure. Don needs blood piece, he gains coin power from sinking. Yep. They do have conditionals in their kit like that. Um, yeah. I mean, the main thing for why Heath can just kind of get by with anything, he can ignore stagger thanks to the horse, and his skill 3-1 is a rolls a 31 on tails. And it's like a is it minus 12? So it'd be, or was it minus? I think it was minus 13. So it rolls an 18 if he hits heads, even if he loses the first clash. Delightful. Wait. Also, Don's Vavigo. Yeah, I from what I've seen, it looks incredibly strong. It's crazy that Regret House has absolutely no conditionals. You know who else has no conditionals? Reindeer Ish. If I remember correctly, Reindeer Ish has the highest rolling skill free without conditionals. It, I think it's like a 23 or something like that. And Regret Faust definitely feels like eventually she'll fall off in terms of like clashing numbers. Like it's 2 coin power now the next turn. There we go. Makes sense because the Ego Gear is tough, but I suppose plus coin drop makes her viable in story. Um, one of these are weird. I thought she was season 2. The first Walpurgis, but I thought it was season 2. Because I first Walpurgis, and she was one of my first free star IDs. But a lot of enemies are getting more -3 or -4 when clashing with that skill. And if it happens to be an unbreakable, when you break that coin, it just doesn't gain coin power if it hit heads or tails, which could be necessary because most unbreakable coins when you break them, they only roll like a 3 or a 5 or something like that. Roll zeros basically. It doesn't go anywhere. Carmella's insane. Literally carried you through floor 10 against Envy Pekatul. I still need to shard Heathcliff Spines. I still haven't done that. Oh, you meant Season 1 IDs in general.
나를
Yeah,
보호해라.
Season 1 IDs are always weird. They always got something funky. Like, I mean, Rabbit Heath existed, and LCCB Ishmael.
돌격!
That's a funny one.
꿈을 꾸러
I used to use her on a Rupture team when there was no
확실하게
better
갈라지는
options.
감각이었네.
Also, I hate that K Korpong Lu is not a Rupture unit. Him having a Rupture ego does not mean he's a Rupture
한
unit.
놈도 남지 않을 때까지
I will also say
지금을
that. I know there's
반복한다.
some strategies out there because of his instinct.
즐겁겠군.
He barely inflicts any Rupture and doesn't inflict count. His main job is to sit there and tank hits. And that's it. He's a great tank. He's not a Rupture unit.
눈감을 준비하고.
And then, yeah, LB also isn't really that much of a Rupture unit, but she's more of a Rupture unit than him. She just kind of sits there, inflicts same turn, nothing because she's going last. She also, but there's also the 16 by 4 technically Rupture that she inflicts. Was it 16 by? It was 8 2 and 2. Second and first. Skill 4. And then other than that, you just kind of you either attack things that you're not.
총원 돌격! 꿈을 꾸러 가도록. 확실하게 갈라지는 감각이었네. 잘했군. 한 놈도 남지 않을 때까지 지금을 반복한다. 쉴 새는 없다.
There is no content where like, ah yes, beat them in 2 turns, and then you get to refresh where he gets all his bullets back. Just of how the current content works. Like it's technically the same, but it still doesn't work in his favor, which I think is probably a good thing. You don't want something like that running rampant. Um, the issue with them is that they try too much at once instead of making a solid foundation. Yeah, probably just These don't really do anything. This is getting fused. Sure. Talisman strats of K-Corp on Lu work surprisingly well, but the new Mao IDs just packs just means he's only good for taking hits. Zoyish is better because her power counter can redirect any attacks and not consume count. Yeah.
어머, 부탁드려요.
Yeah, record teams are in a weird spot. Mainly because the Mao IDs exist. I still wish that they kept Rupture as like you know, if you just use it blindly, you're not gonna see that much success, but if you actually decide to pay attention to the game and you know what you're doing, like, you know, you will decimate everything in your way. Which is how it was even without Talisman Sinclair. And then they just decided to release the Mao IDs, and that just kind of ruins it. Sure, neutral. Wait, how is that neutral? I mean, huh? It's... I don't get it. When the focus one's statuses per counter like Ishmael's and beyond is for their design philosophies or just quality of it. Like, I think it would have been Pirate Gregor, which is when they finally nailed the poise bonus where skill free, you just give a giant damage buff when you crit. Or if it's like also the stuff with single coins, or it's just make it roll high, make it consistent. In order to give it damage, which it normally doesn't have, just load a ton of damage mods on it. And they kind of learned like how to give us more damage without giving us too big numbers. Although they still ended up giving us big numbers anyways, like with Wild Hunt and Dawn, Manager Dawn. They have tons of modifiers under skill freeze. But they also just have normally big numbers too. Yeah. Rupture in human fights still kind of sucks. Voice is best for humans. Yeah. Well, I'd say it depends. But yeah, Rupture is definitely like one of the worst things for humans. One of the worst statuses. Next worst is probably Tremor. Like Sinking's um yeah, I'd say Tremor would be next. Bleed kind of too. Like you're not keeping a stack on anyone in a human fight with Bleed. Tremor kind of they have good count application and don't really ruin it with anything. Because unless you burst, it's effectively the same as burn in the way the count functions. I'd say Poison Burn are probably among the best for human fights. Line 2 would be Roses. Yeah, I could do that. What are the other... Is my brain blanking on... Charge kind of works, I guess? Like, they just kind of roll high. I'd say, like, the multi-crack IDs would probably do well in human fights. I only have multi-crack Heath, though, so I can't really say anything about Faust. Yeah, Sinking also just gets IDs that are able to roll high, which, yeah, lets them bypass a bunch of stuff. But the status itself, if the enemy has no sanity, it's effectively the same as Rupture for human fights. Let's see. So I have Lucky Pouch now. There's Horseshoe, where's the... Wait. Was it this? There we go. I almost messed that up. Oh, you meant how they got better IDs for those status effects. Yeah. Yeah, they did get more stinking IDs in the next Kanto, and then Tremor had its big debut. Well, Weefy Heathcliff, and then they got the TKT event. And then that was kind of it. That's why Ishmael, too. And then that was pretty much it. Ironically enough, Weefy Heathcliff does not do much for Tremor. For the Poison Renaissance, charges best trap for human fights because easy conditionals. Heath Kanto's thinking. Tremor got good IDs all around. Yeah, pretty much. Everlasting Faust just kind of broke her. Um, um, I mean, number tier 3. Do I have one here? No, I don't. Do I have a spare 2? No, I don't. So I'll just do this instead. God damn it. Those aren't worth upgrading. Yeah, just move forward, I guess. Tremor got big time in TKT. Still sucks because it relies too much on ego. Yeah, I think so too. The the only problem now is that with Everlasting just existing in check now.
가스 점화. 엔진 시동.
Like, at least if Rub, I understand that they really need to keep it in check because of Talisman Sinclair. Before Talisman Sinclair, you still need to keep it in check because it's true. I've seen the memories and the other the Infinity Stones in the shop before. I believe I've also seen Faith one time.
가스 점화. 엔진 시동.
Um, I, I still haven't gotten um, Lunar Memory though, other than from fusing. I just did that again. My brain autopilots and I just click the buttons. I'll probably just
헌팅 커틀러리 준비 끝.
hi. What's the run? Yeah, we're doing a poise run. It's the the next thing on the list uh, of stuff that's available. I'll just evade this.
전투응대 나서.
For how much Starlight I have going around. What hurts the most here? Those. Alright. Do I want to do that? This consumes 6 voice count. This gives me some more voice count. I'm going to need that.
전투응대 나서.
Honglu solo because he has dodge. I mean, yeah, that works too. Basically, anyone with a dodge can very easily deal with this. The only reason why I didn't dare is because I wanted to use her AoE to deal with the flower. She'll be fine, but the other 2 things don't do anything. You think the reason Blood Fiends don't have high bleed count is because if they did, they would have been broken? Oh, absolutely. They would be so broken. Just, well, not to mention the fact that if they did have high bleed count, all their conditionals are automatically active, basically, from that point forward.
전투응대.
Or the conditionals for consuming Blood Feast, that is. It's combat start to 6 points, right? Yeah, okay. So yeah, I'm completely fine. I definitely should have checked how much voice I had going around. It's not worth using 2 of those to activate Nebby because Nebby doesn't give me back enough. Yeah. It's good that those IDs don't come with do I need to evade? Don't come with count built in because it actually forces you to think about who you want to bring for count. I don't think we should have IDs that like
전투
do it all, right? Because here's the thing, teams exist for a reason. I think I don't think it's a hot take to say people should think about what IDs they bring into a fight and whether or not they help each other and what they want to do. I don't think that because the Blood Fiend IDs do so much from having bleed damage, and they're able to apply to potency. I don't think they should be able to upkeep the count. Yeah. Yeah, Rodion does have Sanguine Desire as well, which does kind of solve it for herself. Although I don't think she can completely fuel it by herself though, if I remember correctly. Um, yeah.
전투응대에 나섰다.
I think she feels most of it though. I think there might be one sin that she doesn't fuel. Let's see.
전투응대에 나섰다.
Yeah, I mean, Sanguine Desire is a good ego as well. Although, I mean, it is combat start, right? When it applies that effect. You don't really see too much use out of it.
준비하라.
Either the team you're running has enough count to support your bleed stack, or you're doing it MD, in which case it doesn't matter. Or, like, you're doing memes where you have an infinite clash happen, or both people are clashing at 0, and they just die because 99 clashes happen, and they end up taking so much bleed damage. So it's minus 18. Yeah, that's fine.
전투응대에 나섰다.
To balance them, Blood Fiends are the most exclusive team, second to only Will Knocked after Season 7, but it's going to be hard to get. Yeah. Anyone that's missing them now won't get them until Kanto 8 starts. Just, yeah. And they do especially like being together, or at the very least... Yeah, they want to be together, for the most part, at least with manager Dom. Priest Gregor, just because he feels so much Blood Feast for him. I think he can give you enough damaging himself instead. That's pretty much his role.
전투응대에 나섰다.
On a funny note, Sweeper's also walking metal blood bags, which equals all you can eat buffet for the Blood
꿈을
Fiends.
꾸러 가도록.
Yeah, pretty much. I've seen Sancho being solo using Sanguine Desire from her own self-bleed, funniest thing ever. Yeah, that's probably one of the quickest ways to deal with her, is just Sanguine Desire. And then, because she applies so much bleed to herself, it's just very free. Whereas with a team that has no count, you're not going to be able to stack it that high if you're running at a count. Wow. Sure, I'll grab that. Free healing, I guess. Or tier 4. I'm probably gonna fuse it away. Yeah, I just always take Nocturnal Sweeping. I still haven't cleared out the shop, so we're just fighting the sweepers at the end of all of these runs. I assume I can meet this check. Good. That's easy for Blood Count, Hooklu, Rhino Mare, and Faust, Kick-Ish, Kick-Heath, and Kick-Aerial. I was gonna say, are the Blood Fiends stupid? Why don't they just eat Deceivers? Then you remember they would just overnumber and overwhelm everything? Yeah.
정도.
One of the biggest problems with trying to fight the sweepers is just simply how many there are, and well, persistence. Their persistence does a lot of people in just because they have never-ending reinforcements, and you will never be able to kill them faster than they can reinforce themselves. If it wasn't limited to free waves, everything would die, pretty much. And by everything, I mean mostly everything. The head probably won't, because I'll be honest, they're probably employing the supers or something. I mean, we know that they consider them human enough to exist, um,
부탁드려요.
but there's still some other stuff out there. I mean, for count, you could just use Ring Song. His skill 2 applies a ton of count. There's also Ring Outis, who also applies tons of count. With, it's the skill 2, right? For both of them? Yeah, there's good count options out there. Pretty sure Princess Rodion has some count in her kit. I think it's very minor, but she does technically help. Hooklu is kind of falling off. His, just in terms of clashing numbers, anyways. Supers are the definition. You can't stop all of us. Exactly. One of the weird things about Hook Han Lu is his skill 3 is one of those old speed conditionals, where it's just, hey, have 6 speed or more, or something like that. And sometimes you just don't get it. And then you lose out on tons of coin power. Ishmael's losing tons of sanity this turn. Oh no. She's only at 30. She would have been at 20 if it wasn't for Yisong passive. Hero. It's the Bone Claimer. Yeah. She's a good unit, although her skill 3 definitely rolls quite low. Theo Faust, my beloved. Oh wait, the enemy was staggered. That's what happened. I was like, it said struggling. How do you win? No. Theo Faust. It's just Plum Red Blossom, right? In terms of bleed, and I think that's it in our kit. If skill 2. It's 30 for 10 count. Skill 1. Post stack up. Let's see. Skill 2. He gains tons of count. Like count. I'd say like now. No man. Being I'm not entirely sure what his cycle looks like, so I can't.
담겨 있지.
Get seems about what I thought. Wasn't too crazy, but still, it'll help a bunch of IDs.
저놈을 추적해.
Quad Heat also just kind of hits like a truck, even without like poise or any of the other stuff. It's just the lower he gets is level, which not only helps him clash higher, but also effectively can give him like free damage up. Lag going crazy right now. Oh jeez. Why is it doing that? Yeah, that's really bad. That's seconds per frame, not frames per second. Oh god. There we go. Back. Okay, clear America calm water. That's instantly getting upgraded. Anything else? Not really. I could just keep going like this. I don't really need anything else. I mean, this is the final floor anyways. Doesn't matter that much.
뛰어가겠네.
Much yet? 6, 7. Alright, I can refund most of the count of that. Any predictions for Hong Lu?
확실하게 갈라지는 감각이었네.
What direction PM's gonna take it? We could do. Although I know I saw some people speculating that he might actually get angry, because when we had the April Fool's event, the second one, and they had this Ryu was having like an angry face on. Some people noted that it didn't look dual making that face, and then just because of that, they thought that there's a solid chance that
확실하게 갈라지는 감각이었네.
but I mean, I expect we'll probably get something related to his ego happening, his base ego. There, like Kanto 4 with Ishmael. Or, yeah, he-
총원 불격.
there's the base ego corrosion for well, you know, the entire final fight.
꿈을 꾸러가.
Dual and that the you can just hold the button. No, we will mash it. I don't care how many times I care with my spacebar. I will destroy it. Um, but yeah, there's not too much we got about uh
긴장하셨나요?
the can I
오랜 크게 심호흡을 하면 도움이 된답니다.
hmm, I think that's the shadow of Ricard. That's Ricard. Really, and that's because I know last time where I don't remember where I heard this, but he said something along the lines of um, I was like he was done with like experiencing anger, sadness, the confusing emotions, so he just decided to that might be like such an important resolution, such that he's made it in every world. Just like how in every deal to the judge in every world, Aldous has her pocket moved a single step, according to her words in was it her trailer? Introduction trailer? I don't know. Yeah. It was something along the lines of that. I suppose we'll see. Uh, Alright, assist attack will do it well. Nice. Personalities. And Faust and Butler, Ryoshu. Yeah. He saw. I remember of which he was smiling in, right? And people consider that. Oh yeah, it was. Uh, what's it called? It's the not harpooner. Quad. So and just being generally miserable in most IDs. Off the top of my head, Hero Spanner, but like G Corp Gregor is just okay. Linting, it yeah, like Priest Gregor, miserable. I don't think I need to explain that one. Really seems the beating of seconds per frame. Yeah, I, I, I have a feeling will be like my computer does not like running this stage and OBS. It's perfectly fine on my end, or like the game, but I have a feeling it does not like having all those sweepers run by at the same time. I find it funny that at the end of a sweeper event, the The plan rests on Honglu, the man who would only look at his house burning, go down and go, "Oh wow, my family making a bonfire." Yeah.
전투 응대는 성공적이야. 나쁘지 않은 움직임이었어.
Alright, nice.
이제
That's
다른
one done.
일로 돌아가지.
Some of our other ones would probably be quicker if I turn my brain more off. Yeah, let me just check something. Oh, I have over 10,000 Freds, sorry. Yeah, you can see the resources that I've stockpiled. I also haven't used that yet. But, yeah. Resources aren't exactly a problem. Of those kinds of resources anyways. I'll claim this, because I believe, yeah, I have enough for this now. Get this. Yay! I get the banner now. Unfortunately, I don't think I can get one of these tickets. I can get 47. Did I check that properly? Yeah, I don't have all the Blade Lineage, I don't have them, I don't have them, I don't have them. The ones I can't do. I could do literally everything else, so yeah. I'm just missing, or there's 4 achievements that I can't do. If I get 100, I'll get the next. Oh no, I'm missing 2 tickets. In all seriousness, I was genuinely disappointed we won't be on. I assume it's Ching Chun's side you're talking about. I find it interesting. They're trolling. Yeah, you can't really tell. He has to say. I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna skip the Tremor team. I don't want to run Tremor into the sweepers. I mean, Venom Vial exists, but I still don't want sweepers. It's 100 Starlight, 115. We'll take Burn Team in. I just need minimum 110 so I could get my preferred. I can make it a bleed team. I should probably grab Ashes to Ashes, but this is funny. Take Dust to Dust, please. There we go. So, for the meantime, we're still using Ringy Song. Different art, kind of. Yeah, they probably well, I mean, we know they redid it because of what happened with VATS. If the people that don't like Project Moon. But from a graveyard into rain to the inside of a manor of course, is kind of underwhelming. I mean, there was one of hanging his head grave when it's raining. I think that's the scene where he quotes the original book, where it's like, haunts me until forever, so that we could be forever together, or something like that. He's just yelling at her to come back, basically, even if it means haunting him.
조심 1번 안심해라. 안심해라. 고통은 없어. 제가 앞에 서죠.
이번에야말로 이 싸움을 끝내주겠어.
I just noticed that there's gunshots going off in the background of this stage. Yeah, there's people flying about, yeah. Yeah, yeah. This was just the Kanto 1 dungeon, right? This background? Pretty sure.
조심 1번
합격장. 이 경적 속에서 타올라라.
I wonder what kind of role that they would have been playing if they ended up getting cut. This role was someone else's.
괜찮아. 이젠 안 아플 거야.
Um, it's probably the most likely case. Or maybe they only merged a portion of a role and they decided they could cast out the rest. I don't know. Seems like they're still reviewing some parts of a story. Well, they had most of it laid out, but they're probably still reviewing stuff.
무엇이든 맞출 수 있는
But I wonder how far they've already fought ahead for what they want. Probably to the end of Inferno already. At the very least.
합격점이구려.
Why did I had wound cleared on the mine and I thought I was doing a bleed team again. Okay. This is actually a really good shop refresh for bleed too. Damn. Well, I guess I'm just doing this now.
제가 앞에 서죠.
이번에야말로 이 싸움을 끝내주겠어.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine as she shoots. Bleed team looking weird. Yeah. Surprisingly, an MD, Burn makes a pretty good bleed team. They already like just spamming Raft skills, so wound cleared, which also triggers on Raft skills, is just insane. Like, most of her passives activate on Raft, minimum 3 Raft Leo Youngs is 4 owned, but it does also require some amount of resonance. I'm not taking Kasi. I'll take the book. Pretty sure that's needed for one of the fusions. I could take this to help me get Glimpse faster. I don't need Soothe the Dead. The thing I need the quickest is definitely Glimpse of Flames. Although if I'm taking a tier 3, I might as well go for coin. Since I have Ringy Song on the team, I'll just take coin. Kind of unrelated, but thoughts on Switch 2? Did I watch the direct? Yeah, actually, I ended up watching it for a friend, and we freaked out so much once they started getting to the games portion. There, um, we were proved wrong, which is a nice thing, because I mean, you're a doubter and you're right. Well, you win because you're right, and you get bragging rights. And if you're wrong, you win because the game's coming out. Personally, I think the only problem even said in a direct. We found about those posts that from online exclusive. I like to see what they do with it though. Um, damn it, Sinclair, really? 14? Yeah, I mean the two main things that stand out the most are in fact Deltarune and Silk Song. But then digital copies, but also when you trace back the source on that, it goes back to was it some shady board that's probably scalpers, which is like, come on guys, really? You're trusting that? You got the right too. Well, air writers. That I've watched him as a big Kirby fan. He freaked out. Yeah, their dad finally came back home with the milk. Um, the expansions for like the Switch games moving to the like I don't see any point in them besides Kirby Forgotten Lands because well Kirby games know how to do DLCs by making them actual DLCs. Like it's a complete game. Do you want extra content? Like whenever they do remakes of Kirby games, it's like here's entirely new game mode. Here's like 6 more levels or something. Like I know with Planet Robobot when they ported or remastered, I don't quite remember what they did to it, but I remember my friend telling me that they basically released an entirely new side story featuring that robot girl and how she ended up to the spot where you meet her first in the story, and that's huge. They HAL Laboratory knows how to do games. Silksong and Deltarune are huge announcements, but I'm not liking how predatory the new console is looking. Yeah, I mean, it is technically in accordance with inflation. The reason why people are outraged is because no one has spending money right now. That's the fucking problem. And it doesn't seem like anyone's going to be getting spending money anytime fucking soon, which is also a problem. New Mario Kart seems like a downgrade from Mario Kart 8 in the graphics department, especially in the UI department. Yeah, like the mechanics and whatnot for what they're doing seem fine. It's just I don't like the Mario movie aesthetic. I prefer what they had before. But in terms of like the gameplay, it seems fine enough
점 찍었네.
with how much they're adding. There's the new DK that they put at the end. That if it wasn't movie arts, well, it looks insane, kind of like a Odyssey for DK. But just once again, the art style is just not my thing. But I mean, Sancho and Van Dam
이
instead
싸움을
at full strength
끝내주겠어.
can take on a grade 1 fixer and color fixers. Yeah, no, we would have been screwed if they weren't star. Um,
조심 1번.
down Donkey for pipe body at color grade. So yeah,
보냈고.
yeah. It, the Blood Fiends were nerfed hard due to their circumstances. They were debuffed incredibly badly, and that will still take them. Let's do this properly this time. Burn gifts. Okay, got one. Nice. I need paraffin too, anyways. I don't need that. Let's see. Stew pot that I need. Nice. And then Hearth Flame if I want the upper one. Well, honestly, I think I just start going for the tier freeze. I mean, I can buy Ardent Flower so I get the upper one, and then I can fuse free together, and then I can... Yeah? I don't quite know where I'm going with this. Sell one more. I don't need that anymore. Well, then again, it's only 50-50 if I actually get it, but I mean, I'm willing to chance that. My advice, you're better off buying it for 3DS or 2DS and legally acquiring because legally acquiring is easy because I don't um my entire um which I don't, and the Wii, which I do still have, but that's at home and I'm not at home right now. Um, since I'm on,
벌써 화끈하네.
that's part of the entire experiences during the Nintendo Direct. Treehouse Live spamming lower the prices. Yeah, that friend that I saw direct with showed me a screenshot, and there was well, there was one message out of place. To be fair, to note that in Manager Dawn's story, Dawn let them kill him, so it's most likely the same in the main world. Yeah.
점 찍었네.
My voice is cutting out. That's not good. Hmm. I accidentally spiked the mic. That he was one step away from wiping them all out, but his love for his children stopped him. Yeah. Glimpse of flames. Glimpse of flames moment.
벌써 화끈하네.
Just moving on. Oh no. No, no, this actually isn't that bad.
조심.
Just do that.
이상이 무엇이라 생각하시오?
It occurs to me how in the Manager Dawn Mirror world, the Blood Fiends of La Mancha land are kind of screwed because without a first kindred, they are weaker than other families and eventually so strong as... My phone messed up, did it cut that off? I'm assuming that just means eventually someone strong will come along and deal with them. Right, I had coin. Yeah. I mean, I suppose you can sort of see Don Quixote as, like the head of a nest, effectively, for Blood Fiends.
이번에야말로 이 싸움을 끝내주겠어.
Three of them die. Yes.
완벽한 한 발을. 괜히 저항하지 말고 받아들여. 그게 덜 아플걸?
합격장.
I think the goals for this floor is just upgrade a Glimpse of Flames and Wound Clarid, I'd say. Other than that, I don't think there's much. Maybe fuse the other tier 4? Which I think it's this book flame. I'm pretty sure it's the fusion recipe.
무엇이든 맞출 수 있는 탄원이니 말입니다. 화끈하네.
Yeah, I'll probably just fish for a long battle, 2 floors. Um, since with Glimpse of Flames, we'll just annihilate the bosses. Well, work your way through with some of the gnomes first. Uh, Roses gets destroyed. Line 1 also just explodes. Although, Glupo is a problem, not really. You can just send in one person and corrode and you're able to deal with everything else just fine. Speaking of yeah, you're surrounded by water. Yeah, they're actually enjoying their time. I really hope that's foreshadowing to see that Jiao's okay. Or Xiao's okay. Fine there. I really hope. Oh, that's the shape of an egg. That's KQE, isn't it? I what the icons are for the Abno fight, so I can actually know what I'm getting into. Because sometimes it's like, oh, what is that? Is that Fey Lantern? No, no, it's not. So Abno word and Endorphin's Kid. Can you win a clash? Maybe. I'll chance it. What are we getting? Eugen Gregor PM? Come on. Hey, let's go. Sevens lies as well, but it makes sense since compared to the fighters, they get things down over the top of tragic. Yeah. I feel like just with the natural progression of the game, we're gonna just see more, and naturally the stuff we see in the story for the most part, we're gonna get more and more tragic IDs. Like, you know, with Firefist Gregor, who kind of got memed into existence. It even then, it's like, tragic backstory. They make an ID on it. Gregor is now super depressed and suffering. Carnival music makes him lose his mind. Let's see. This is just kind of free damage up, huh? I might end up fusing it though. Let's see if I could get Chart Disc. Actually, if I want to... Damn it. If I want the Chart Disc fusion, I need to get the upper burn tier 2 first. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that for now. There we go. I have $1. $1 left. part of the middle low-key seems chill, and you aren't really murdering hundreds of people. Yeah, I prefer when you're not getting,
제가
you know,
앞서죠.
two-thirds of. Or, I don't remember how much of our organization got massacred by a guy that they can't remember the face of. But like outside of that, they are pretty chill. Um,
싸움을 끝내주겠어.
yeah, let's just annihilate. I love making decisions. Only two of these I actually get to make a decision for which skill I want to use. So for working for the Deviat Association seems like the worst. You could argue she are very overworked. There's a problem with Argalia existing, who was overworking them, if I remember correctly. Or like, Argalia was making one of her higher up overwork them. Basically, it's work culture, and people higher up having it out for you. At least in the case of Naruna,
조심 1번.
Ricardo wasn't stupid enough to fight the Indigo Elder. Yeah, that's for sure. Other than that, like Leo's fine, it's fine enough, but he'd be put into dangerous situations. But if you're in the Hana, you're already strong enough for that. Um, what pose 2 again? I mean, Zwei seems. I mean, if your job's if you're doing protection jobs, I mean, it could be somewhat dangerous, but I mean, you're undercover.
조심 1번.
The fair system. Since it's, they're able to organize duels, you can pay them to substitute someone else for you in the duels, and they sanction them. So, they're
무엇이든 맞출 수 있는 탄원이니 말입니다. 제가 앞에 서죠.
from the mirrors we've seen, as well as what we've seen for Shao and Lowell and their group, they seem fine. And most of it Liu is just because, hey, Rodio's a good boss. At least that's my understanding. What did I cover up? There we go.
완벽한 한 발을 위해. 괜히 저항하지 말고 받아들여. 그게 덜 아픈 걸.
Deviat's probably one of our worst ones. And the middle is also pretty safe as well in comparison to the other syndicate. I mean, Index too, so long as you follow the rules. Ring, no, no, just don't bother with the ring. Uh, you'd probably be fine in the FUM, except when anyone moves.
단번에 끝낸다.
This is another association mixed with martial arts.
비뚤어졌구려.
Like swarms of enemies, thanks to dealing burn, spreading fire, and then well, gameplay-wise, getting tons of clash power for free, basically, by maintaining a burn stack.
꿰뚫은 줄도 모를걸. 하는 놈.
And in Runa, they have tons of AoEs
이번에야말로 이
burn as well,
싸움을 끝내주겠어.
too.
단번에 끝낸다.
The only thing that they have going for them is that the courier chunks are cool.
합격장.
Only thing with Index is that's a dice roll, though. Yeah. That is the problem with Index. What are the other...
괜찮아.
Know about the ring, Oh yeah, we don't know much about the pinky, do we? Syndicates.
이거 참 설레는구려.
Do we know anything about the 8 Association? It is called the 8 Association, right? I'm not losing my mind. If you're in the Diachi Association, you're probably like doing completely fine.
합격장.
Like, other than the fact that you're gonna exchange some of your memories for power during fights. If you just consume enough knowledge well enough, you should be okay. And if you happen to have like a fighting style similar to like, Diechi, Merceau, Rodia, or Yi-Song, you're probably never getting hurt anytime soon. And like even Hong Lu has like an debate of, oh, I probably wouldn't choose the keyhole just because after seeing how much memory he loses upon using it, I don't know if you want to go through that every time you fight.
이 싸움을
If you
끝내주겠어.
forget like your way home or something because of that.
단번에 끝낸다.
The FUM is basically the Mafia. They're very traditional too. That's why they have the guns as well. Despite the fact that they're both illegally are they illegally making bullets or did they sign a contract to get bullets? They're still really expensive for them to use bullets. But yeah. Oh yeah, Wi-Fi could be nice as well.
쓸모가 없.
Association version of the middle, but with contracts. There's an argument to be made that you're upholding law. I can make this, right? Yeah. I have Addis on the team. She'll do almost every pride check. I'd probably you'd probably panic and get your tongue chopped off day one working for the FUM. I think that goes for most. are far too different than most places here that I don't think anyone would be able to adapt quickly enough, even with prerequisite knowledge. Um, they pay taxes for the bullets even when they're made in-house. They're still stupidly expensive. Yeah, that is the thing with their equipment. I'm not trying to make a tier 4. There, this should work. There we go. Um, oh, what else is there to make? Like, there's 350% damage, clear mirror, charge gauntlets, downpour, or the bleed gift. I guess I'll go for the bleed gift because it actually does something. Sure, yeah. I don't know, there's not much to actually get now.
이것
The
참 설레는구려.
story is going to be hilarious in a very grim way. Yeah, um, it's not as if he's inflicting any burns, so. He'll die after this turn. How much HP does he have? Over 3,000. So yeah, if I didn't have the achievement to kill someone at 3,000 HP in one turn, this would do it as well. You were surprised to learn that she isn't interested in the ring's art? I mean, yeah, but I guess it means that she values herself higher than what they're making. Is that 3,000? Yeah, it's enough. 2,614.
이것 참 설레는구려.
Into the ring, people now think that she's just not on good terms with all of them, thanks to
끝내주겠어.
not you, Sinclair.
집중하고 있다. 단번에 끝낸다.
What if because I mean she's from Hellscreen, right? Where she's tasked with drawing hell, and it's like, oh, I can only paint what I see. So I need to. And then proceeds to see a bunch of nasty stuff. Daughter dies. Oh, I guess I've seen hell now. Proceed to draw the image and then die. She joins the Kurokuma clan. Her distaste for her rank comes from how she views her art to be inferior rather than actual hate. Yeah. That, like, I'm assuming that she.
조심 1번.
And then, there's also the entire thing with a sword on her back that never actually gets used. But it's always with her. And, people speculated it's her daughter. Um, Maybe her daughter got the sword, like some isekai or something. Isekai plotline. 7 HP.
점 찍었네.
괜찮아. 이젠 안 아플 거야.
Maybe that's the concept of dying. Of um, I think. I don't know. I'm just trying to pull from my memory of when I saw like multiple YouTube comments that tried to explain Hell Screen. Um, and they probably have some information wrong too, so I don't know. We'll see. It's like if End Dawn, you're making the crazy people seem sane in comparison.
무엇이든 맞출 수 있는 탄원이니 말입니다.
Yeah. Yoshu seems
제가 앞에 서죠.
that is true. It's less that she's insane and more like she's voluntarily acting the way she is instead of like she's lost it.
순식간에 끝내죠.
So, stuff now.
조심 1번.
She's with, the painting of hell or something like that. I wonder what she would consider hell considering the state of the city. It'd have to be really bad. Although I guess via Dante's the meaning for Dante's books, the Inferno is just hell. So, I mean, they could combine the leaving hell. Can't she draw it? She sees Purgatio and then finally able to paint that art piece. I don't know. There's a bunch of different directions that they could take it. For Hollywood. Probably Faust. I mean, I am biased. But I mean, all of them are just interesting, honestly. All of them have stuff that I want to see.
순식간에 끝내죠.
Hell for Yoshi was just going to be Don Quixote's wildest fantasy. I mean, I think the thing I'm probably
비뚤어졌구려.
because I mean, I think uh, there was someone who did a bit of mapping. It looks like we were projecting for the big Doomsday event, or like from the trailer, that would happen around the end of this Kanto, if I remember correctly. Did I really just do that? Oh my gosh. I don't need this. I don't need this. Okay, that's good. I need a tier 1. Um, oh wait, I already have Heart Flame. I'm dumb. I forgot I got that. Oops. It's this right? Yeah. Faust Canto is likely going to be the last one before Dante. Fury for the Faust Canto? Are Faust clones die, but just a shaft will end because Faust dies in the OG book. That is true. Um, with a contract for with Mephistopheles. Uh, yeah, and Vergilius and Charon are with the pacing of the Inferno. What am I doing now?
제가 앞에 서죠.
Springs from her icon looking a lot like the fetus in a bottle ego gift. Or embryo in a bottle. I don't remember what it was called.
당신의 판단을 따를게.
I, for it'll probably we'll lose that.
괜히 저항하지 말고 기다려. 덜
이번에 이 싸움 끝내주겠어.
If we leave hell, would that reduce the power of it just from it? Both. I believe this name that leads Dante through Purgatio.
단번에 끝낸다.
Do you think we'll ever get a Messiah person?
나아갈 수 없어.
Yeah, probably not for a long time if we do, because even in of a market, and that's why you're able to see it there, because he ended up going to the bad end, whereas our current fitted just have the neutral and good end apparently left for him.
단번에 끝낸다.
But if we, I can imagine it having to be more down the line. Although, Honestly, if we ever get one that does use it, it probably makes sense. Although it might be a story or
나갈
vision,
수 없어.
changes to the ego or base sprite. Not sure if they'd actually make it until we hit. Um, what is heaven called in the? Why don't I remember? Once you hit. Technically already have parts of the mark. I'd say that there oriented ones such as St. Clair and Claire. I think there's a few others. Even if we don't see any hint of it, it's probably there. I think the mark is probably like one of the things that is there present throughout all IDs, so much like Gregor's bug arm and Pablo, Aldis's pocket songs, uh, Ishmael's hairband, Heathcliff and Kathy, although I guess Kathy not anymore, but that's story reasons, obviously. You know. You don't really like how to help chicken get facilities, you don't get them during a regular run. For burn, it's not that bad. One turning people. Because all it really does is apply more counts when you don't need more counts. Sooth Dead already applies tons, and if you're not like actually a character that's not, and you have Honglu's support passive, you're getting tons of counts. Rupture though, you also kind of don't need it unless you want to maximize damage with Frill. Thunder Branch exists. The Fusion Gift also exists for them. It makes that you get 5 potency on hit, and if you happen to break this 1. Sorry, but there's no mirror roll for sauce. 16 as the mark. Yeah, by some. Because some Sinclair IDs are, shall we say, underdeveloped? He's still kind of like the same before we met him. I think it'd be funny if a Los Mariachis Yepe Sinclair has the mark. He became happy and learned how to dance. And that caused his forehead to glow. The sombrero. I think they have an angle where you could still see his forehead. So get more game IDs if I can. The sinners will probably end up fighting. Do I ever end up fighting them or they're evil? Like, I know some people really like Sasara. I hate to break it to you, but the second I saw her, I thought she was evil, and we're probably gonna have to deal with her in the future. So, my only worry is Chi-Chen, because I actually do like her, and she. I just really hope Project Moon doesn't either A, kill her off, or B, turn her evil. Please. Please. Yeah, and even then, most of the characters that aren't our main crew end up dying somehow. I mean, I know in Runa, the technique. And then, LobCorp with it being, let's suffer a lot. Here we go. For too much, you end up kind of like get the tier 4s and then you can do what you want. Ooh, that's nice. I get gloves and Vitae at the same time. I'll take this. It's needed for a fusion. To be honest, we probably won't fight Cesara. I mean, we brought her Don Quixote's corpse and even helped us with devices transporting us to Limbus Company headquarters. Yeah, we probably won't fight her directly, but I do think we'll end up.
돈 벌러 가자.
Like, the company's selling the monoliths too, and it's like, that would create a problem that we're known for solving, which is, distortion resolutions. Which, I mean, yeah, that would make a good amount of money,
가자.
but also, this feels like it'll badly. Pretty badly. Is that accounting to coin power? Is it rolling a 13?
내가 먼저다.
걸려라.
LobCorp was messing with the eldritch creatures with stick and hope they don't rip you to pieces. Yeah. That is a funny description. Because I don't have. I've already opened up Hod's branch. I'm planning to open up this. Once I finish hers. But I mean, I almost said red eyes. That's not what the Abno is called. It's spider butt. I mean, that's what Zika gear is called, but yeah. A breaching Abno until you get the upper 2 birds. You just ignore it if it breaches. I have Heart of Aspiration. Music box.
설마 벌써 죽었냐?
Oh, right. Match like girl. As much as you love Limbus, you'll always consider it inferior to other games from a field perspective. Yeah, that's fair. Yep. Nice.
이런 건 누워서 떡 먹기지. 기차와 같이 달려나가겠어.
Keep in mind that Limbus is also focusing on the city as a whole and not just the characters. Yeah, that is important. They've been upping their scale of what they're talking about story-wise over the course of the games, because Lobotomy was just, here's the Abnos, here's L Corp, and the general gist of the city that you get through the experience of the Sephira. Um, Runa actually expanded on it much more with Roland's perspective, as well as the bits and pieces, well, the both skewed and biased bits and pieces that you get from the people that enter a library. It's biased because, well, they're usually always in some shit situation before the invitation. At least with most of them, anyways. Either that or they think that they can
내가 먼저다.
enter that way. Or, you know, reasons with, how the hell did I forget his name? Olivier. But it's also biased due to the fact that it's specifically taking people that the library needs, since it was being guided by Carmen. Whereas this, with a city, we're actually going around, whereas with this, with Limbus, we're actually going in person, which is a huge step up. So that's fair enough. The UI and all three games alone tells you mostly everything you need to know about them. Yeah. Yeah. Each of the games definitely fit what they're going for individually. Even LOR seems superior to Limbus from a feels perspective. Yeah, I'd agree there. LOR is, or Runa. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I don't know why I feel that way either. That's odd.
설마 벌써 죽었냐?
당은 어디요?
Limbus is definitely more linear than both Lobotomy and Runa. And like it's extremely linear. Unless like for some reason you miss an intervallo and you decide to do it after a canto that takes place after it or something, I don't know. But for most people it's extremely linear.
정리
You don't
시간.
really get any options outside of it.
내가 눈에 새겨줄.
You feel like Limbus is trying to make sense of insanity? I'd say that checks out, especially if the main theme being bringing them back from hell. Every time they die, he has to go for that gate and pull them out. If they are to follow us on our,
비켜. 내가
you know,
먼저다.
I still don't remember what heaven's called. But if we're going through that sense, and you know they're supposed to be sinners in the namesake, and there's you know probably a reason for that, why they're called that. We'd be pulling them out of hell. is an aspect to it. You know, he's an aspect of One Sin or White Knight or something else. Who knows? Um, but especially with how he's lost his memories and whatnot, it definitely feels
내
like
앞을 막을 자는 없어.
he's trying to make sense of it all. Because I mean, innately, a lot of this feels wrong to him. Which, I mean, would it feel wrong to him? Like, if you lost your memory and like, if someone normally loses their memory in the city, would they, when they come to, would they see the city as wrong, or would they just feel like, yeah, this is normal? Because, like, obviously, in our world, if you lose your memory, you probably still know how to talk, you know how to walk, you probably understand how currencies work. You understand, you probably know
내가 눈에 새겨.
normal. Um, but in the city, that normal is different. So if you're a citizen of a city, you lose your memory, you retain what's normal, potentially. But yeah, I don't know. This just kind of leans into the theory that Dante's not from the city, and he might. I mean, there's the entire thing of Charon getting switched out, right? So if Dante got switched out from a person from a mirror world like our current world,
가자.
or like you know,
설마 벌써 죽었냐?
he fell from the sky and isn't from the city or something. In earlier cantos or victories are either due to dumb luck or enemies already having their legs broken. Yeah, checks out. I mean, can at that point Dante has is just very incompetent at the time. So it makes sense that you'd be seeing tons of failures, but also you can't really have them fail because you know the story needs to go on. Well, I say fail. They failed at getting the first golden bow, but you know you can't have Dante get killed, otherwise your story just kind of ends there. Like
잠깐만.
with Runa, they're free to tweak anything that they wanted in the early access, even the earlier content after they were finished, like you know, making you know all the statuses and you know how they wanted the pacing to be, and this knowing the general amount of stuff that the player will have access to over the course of a game.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어. 내가 눈에 새겨주지. 헛! 자!
Totally. I mean, if they take it, yeah, if they do it well, they'll probably. I mean, where eventually getting burned down. You're back there.
캬!
You can get down to like even one. You'll be fine.
설마 벌써 죽었냐?
I don't care if Zulu is taking us seriously. You're able to fold her like long. To be fair to Dante, giving a person of no memories. Simply because Ricardo was coming up in the third wave, they have to balance it to make it possible for you to still, get through his phases by making Zulu weaker.
이런 건 누워서 떡
Why did I
먹어야지.
win that? I know you're supposed to lose that check. Why did I? It's autopilot. Well, at least I'm getting Nebi here. Um, for that, which, yeah, them making it a free wave fight was just not it. It should have been two separate notes. One where you beat her ass and then, uh, well, you try your hardest to beat her. You get her down to a certain amount of HP. Cutscene happens, and then Ricardo shows up, and then you go to the next node, and then you're fighting the middle, and then has some exposition about how they're fighting in the background, defeat the middle. You get the next cutscene, and then Ricardo shows up. That's how they should have done it. If so that they can up the difficulty of Zulu's fight.
지금이 기회인 것 같소. 다음은 어디요?
That's a waste of rip space. I mean, it probably doesn't matter much. Why is that rolling an 18? Oh. Oops. Please stop. There's only one left. Yeah, that's fine.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
완전히 싫어.
다음은 어디요?
잠깐만. 아직 충전 덜 했거든.
Kinda gave us the bow. We didn't even have a boss, so you just kind of ran away. I mean, that explains why most people are disappointed by Rodion's Kanto. Yeah. You suppose it's like an intended thing, but the sinners feel like a bunch of losers? I mean, yeah, with their personalities. And
걸려라.
the story definitely leads that way.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
Like, if you wanted to describe the ties, dangerous people.
가자.
Looking for charge gifts. That's not great.
기차와 같이 달려나가겠어.
Captain-ish exist. The Nefar Fleet twist most letters cartoon villain henchman. Ish is definitely the most sane, but turn her into a robot and have her work for Megatron and she fits right in. I wonder if someone's already done art of like the Sinners as Transformers. Alright, that just staggered him. Great. Ow. Just depressed. Oh, the Mother series, but yeah, not just.
내가 눈에 새겨주마.
You could unironically picture Gregor and Hong Lu working for Dr. Eggman. Yeah. They're just like the two robots from Pokemon, or not Pokemon. Oh my god, Sonic Colors. Okay, yeah, it'll probably die of this.
내가 먼저다.
Well, is it resistant to slash? I don't remember. It is. That only dealt 54 damage. Okay, it's not dying.
걸려라.
Oh, it's staggered though, that's nice. 4 bots and Q bot. Yeah. It's been a while. Eh. Okay. Should be able to do him in now. There we go.
내가 눈에 새겨주지. 제대로 찝었군. 다음은 어디요?
Yeah. And there we go.
정리를 시작하겠어.
내가 눈에 새겨주지.
이제
걸려라.
You know that this is the most unlikely thing to happen, but you genuinely want to see a Limbus company and Sonic Colors collab. That would honestly work kind of well with the different colors from that game. You could easily turn them into abnormalities, but it's just Sonic Colors doing anything with it anymore.
내가 먼저다.
Like the Sinners meet Sonic and Greg finally learns to accept his bug arm. Yeah, that could work too. Yeah.
다음은 어디요?
Don would go insane because Sonic was technically a proper knight. Yeah, actually, he does qualify.
맘. 내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
단숨에 야, 설마 벌써 죽었냐?
Nice. Alright, that's most of it gone. Oh, that one's staggered.
제대로 찝었군.
Reinforcements.
캬! 내가 먼저다.
다음은 어디요?
야, 설마 벌써 죽었냐?
자!
있지.
자, 한 건 했고.
And there we go. Faust, Eggman, Wenheim, Hakma, and Yesaden. That works.
문법. 기차와 같이 달려나가겠소. 가자.
9 to that list as well.
캬! 내가 먼저다.
벌써 끝나간다. 벌써 끝나간다. 맘. 가자. 지금이 기회인 것 같소. 걸려라. 자, 한 건 했고.
Quantitative charge type generator? The sheep horns, did that tier free? Like a cigarette holder,
다음은 어디요? 지금이 기회인 것 같소. 다음은 어디요?
I already have Vitae, I already have
한 건 했고.
gloves. Is there anything else? Any other buffs for minimum charge? I don't think there are. For a complete fact. Oh. Oh.
태실은
Okay.
망설임이 없군요.
game, please. Where is it? What's this? KK Heathcliff from the other KK units. Alongside the other KK units. Reindeers stayed in Tab, which is our own universe, which is what it implies. I don't know. It's too much for my brain to comprehend. 7 is a close check, even though they're not done yet due to your love for detectives and investigator types. Is it still cutting up? Oh my god. Why is it doing that? Jesus Christ. Does that happen when it lags? I think it does. Oh god. I think the audio cutting out might just be the lag from the game affecting OBS. Judging from what I see, whenever the mouse staggers, it seems like that's when it occurs. Yeah. Where's Horseshoe? What's up? Pick this up. Grab this. Blood Fiends to La Machelon. La Machelon. Looking for the tier 2s. Try and... Oh shit. How did I not notice that? Yeah, don't need this. Don't need this. I mean, I might need them, but let's be honest, I'm not. If I wanted to fuse. At least for now. What was it, 400? That. No, I don't see. So get that. This can go. I'll get another cheer for you by the end of this, so I'll just take the money. There we go. Is this enough? Yeah. Good. Alright, so you've charged for days. Right. Goes like that. Hmm. Delightful. Is that active? It is.
내가 눈에 새겨주지.
Alright. It's looking good so far.
걸려라.
Okay. Nice. He only dodged the first coin. Yeah, she's fine. He's back to 0. I'll deal with evade this way. There's too fragile for the entire rest of the turn. We just keep going. Alright. Good. Heck. Oh wait, he's using counter, not an evade this turn. I'll just do this then.
캬! 내가 먼저다.
Yeah, we're fine. He'll probably be staggered this turn. I should have, instead of using Rodio's skill 2, I should have used her skill 1. Oh well, I would have procced Nebulizer. Oh, we're getting our poise here. I selected the skill 1 by accident. I could have sworn I selected skill 2. Never mind, we're not getting any more poise. Everyone's still gaining free count end of turn, though. It is end of turn, right? When, Horseshoe count? Wait, no, it's... Horseshoe's unupgraded, it's 1 count. It's just favored. Just not great. I forgot that technically rolls insanely high. That is AoE too, right? Yeah. That staggered almost everyone. That's not good. I forgot how that skill works. You gotta bounce later, alligator? Yep. See you in a while, crocodile. How did I forget how that saying goes? I can't believe I forgot. That's... Any that's targeting you? 2 are. So... That one's targeting Dawn, so I'll redirect that one. He just had to hit Tails. I mean, it doesn't really matter too much if they die here. Because they'll get revived. but I would like to keep this game. Refresh. Doesn't. Dale.
캬! 내가 먼저다.
More attention.
기록에 따라 당신은 반드시 집행하겠습니다.
Does she even live this? That shield definitely helped. Yeah. Dealt with a bleed stack. You also have shield to tank a good chunk of this. Really? Don't. That's not good. It's really not good. That's a counter. Really? Oh my god. Now I'm just getting unlucky. The counter's triggering on this. Ow. So it's 2 slash fragility, we're coming in with a high power rip space. It's 86 more damage. Yeah, you're losing that clash. I mean, you're dying from bleed anyways, so.
이럴 줄 알았으면 한탄 좀 제대로 내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
Bulgok would have kicked my ass here, then I would have had to solo a few songs again. Do I really want to head into TKT though? Not really. This is just nice. Contracts, just nice. It's only the only option for the boss is that's Klupo. So,
정리를 시작하겠어.
to go back and reselect them. Man, I am out of it today.
기차와 같이 달려나가겠습니다.
I woke up at 9 in the morning on probably somewhere between 6 and 7 hours of sleep. And I basically crammed my brain with a bunch of information so that I could write an in-person essay um, for one of my classes today. And after that, I think all the fatigue from the previous few days. Please. God damn it. Didn't even really deal damage. He had the shield. Yeah, that's fine. He's a skill free coming up. That's fine.
캬! 내가 먼저다.
But yeah, I had did a review before writing that essay in class, since this is also the final class we're having before our final exams. So our TA did a review for that, and then we went into that final essay with, it was approximately 30 minutes we had to write. I ended up writing up five. Yeah, 5 paragraphs worth of stuff. So, I mean, I should be good. My premises felt nice. I quoted an article that we were supposed to read. It makes sense, the argument to me, anyways. So, it should be okay. The main thing was probably remembering the article at the top of my head, since we didn't read it in class. It was just assigned to us. Hey, read it. Ended up being like some excerpt from a magazine. But apparently, they have, that person had none of that. Just the wording and what they're even correct. The most correct things that they had in there were probably just the population demographics and predictions about 2020. For 2029, the predictions for the demographics there ended up being pretty spot on, considering.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
시시게. 설마 벌써 죽었냐?
Yeah. Can't believe we're already on turn 7 for this encounter. And again, considering I have to get everyone's SP back up, that's not that bad. Mostly everyone's recovered, except Rodia. She's probably going to be stuck down there for a while until we start getting some more kills on these guys. Their resistances are also just really high.
내가 눈에 새겨주지.
Huh? Oh, nice.
걸려라.
Oh? Nah, that almost killed. If she had heads on the first coin, I would have. God, we deal so little damage. Ah, boy.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
단숨에
Good news is Heathcliff can wreck shop since we're all weak to blunt.
헛! 샤!
She's rolling. Despite the fact that I'm pretty sure she hits heads on those coins, she also just gets odds for the final coin too. He's seriously tanky.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
Is Rodia's sanity up now? I saw that clash for her was dominating, so I hope it is. Hope that means that that is the case. That kills, right? Nice.
완전히 있어라.
Yeah, she's at max. It's nice too. Since they're all weak to blunt.
제대로 찝었군. 헛! 샤!
Oh, we're fine. Thank you.
완전히 있어라. 야, 설마 벌써 죽었냐?
헛! 샤! 맘. 헛! 맘. 기차와 같이 달려나가겠어. 가자. 지금이 기회인 것 같소. 헛! 샤! 내가 눈에 새겨줄. 차! 차! 자! 가자.
That clash, that's good.
제대로 찝었군.
You really hit tails there, huh? Res this or not. I mean, good if I could.
자는 없어.
So, I deal a pretty good chunk of damage. Yeah, it's pretty good.
설마 벌써 죽었냐?
걸려라. 제대로 찝었군.
실시계.
Man, I'm losing it. I'm zoning out.
실시계.
This will probably have to be the last MD. It's for this stream. I know streams, but oh good God, I don't think my brain can handle this. I'll well, no, probably I would say I'd be better next week, but I also don't think I'm gonna be streaming next week. I've like start
문 벌러
um
가자.
uh that Thursday. Just to and we'll see.
가자.
I'll do streams and I going back to campus again, inevitably. I don't know. We'll see. My brain's too tired to actually compete this. I'll think about it when I get there. What floor is this? This is floor 3, isn't it?
내가 먼저다.
Or is it floor 4?
걸려라. 지금이 기회인 것 같소. 가자.
완전히 싫어.
Oh yeah. Oh, if it crit on the last, did it crit on the last set? I don't know. Crits might have been able, or getting more crits probably would have been able to help.
지금이 기회인 것 같소. 다음은 어디요?
비켜. 내가
Alright,
먼저다.
here we go. That's doing very little. Oh, it did end up staggering though. I didn't think it would. You're dead.
완전히 싫어.
대사 한 건 했고.
How many? 5? Okay, good.
가자.
Okay, it's just these guys. fight. I have another one of these right after. Yay.
설마 벌써 죽었냐?
Alright, just... Yeah, this is floor 4.
정리를 시작하겠어.
Lord knows I need it. I did have a coffee earlier today, and I'm pretty sure the caffeine's wearing off already. Which would probably explain why I feel extra tired instead of normal tired right now. Here we go. I end up zoning out again. My bad. Yeah, this is the final fight for the boss on floor 4. So if we have double events on floor 5 with the Eternal Sleeping map, we could get away with 1 or 2 fights before the final set of waves.
내가 눈에 새겨주지.
Yeah. The poise well with this team. There's only 2 units of pride skills too. It's just Ryoshu's skill 2 and Radia's skill 1. More poise, please. That's unfortunate. That will. That's screen. Why?
비켜! 내가 먼저다! 설마 벌써 죽었냐?
Right now.
건 가자. 다음은 어디요?
비켜! 내가 먼저다! 쉬시게.
장은 어디요? 장은 어디요? 기차와 같이 달려나가겠소! 내가 눈에 새겨주지.
먼저다.
헛! 샤! 걸려라. 내가 눈에 새겨주지. 자, 다음은 어디요?
해결했군.
기차와 같이 달려나가겠소! 내 앞을 막을 자는 없어! 샤!
또 죽었냐?
걸려라. 다음은 어디요? 맘. 내가 눈에 새겨주지. 자, 한 건 했고. 자. 헛! 자!
잠깐만. 아직 충전 덜 했거든.
가자. 모든 걸 걷어들일 순 없었어. 내가 눈에 새겨주지. 지금 다음은 어디요? 내가 눈에 새겨주지.
시시게. 설마 벌써 죽었냐? 야, 설마 벌써 죽었냐?
장은 어디요? 이게 바로 소위 말하는 엘리트? 나 승진시켜주시오, 관리자 나리!